The White Lotus renewed for season 4 at HBO. And as I said, this one's on Variety. The link should be in the description as well if you want to check it out for yourself. So Variety says, vacation extended. The White Lotus season 4 has officially been greenlit by HBO with production eyed for 2026. Which is interesting, by the way. Like, just right off the bat, it's like, why not 2025? But anyways, I mean, obviously Mike White has to write the scripts. I think he writes every episode, right? So he has to write the scripts and everything. So, you know, I guess that's fair. But it seems like this type of show wouldn't take that long to shoot and be in production. But anyways, that's because it's kind of the modern trend of all the TV shows nowadays, right? You got to wait minimum 2, maybe even 3 years between seasons. And at season 2, right, it was in like 2022. So it is like 3 years almost that we've waited now between the last season. So even in this show, that is definitely staying true. So it is unclear where the 4th season will take place or whether any cast members will return. But creator showrunner Mike White has already pitched ideas to Casey Boyes, the HBO Max chief, revealed in November. The early renewal comes a few weeks before the February 16th premiere of season 3, which takes the Emmy-winning ensemble dramedy to Thailand. Natasha Rothwell, who played the spa manager Belinda Lindsay in the Hawaii set season 1, is the only returning cast member this time around after Jennifer Coolidge reprised her role as Tanya McQuaid in the 2nd season. So I'm going to be honest, I didn't read through this whole article before we started. That is the first time I've heard that. I thought Jennifer Coolidge was returning, actually, for this season of The White Lotus. Interesting. It makes sense now, I guess, why we haven't seen her much in any of the teasers. But I thought I did see her. Maybe that was like season 2 footage or something like that that they had in there. So interesting. Honestly, that's the first time. Maybe I'm just ignorant on this a little bit. But that's the first time I've heard that she isn't actually returning. But they do have that, actress there, Belinda Lindsay, it sounds like, from season 1 who's coming in. So that's interesting. But yeah, I did kind of feel like Jennifer Coolidge was kind of our anchor and she would be in every season of the show. So that's interesting. Both seasons so far have followed groups of troubled vacationers who unleash their worst, most privileged impulses at the idyllic White Lotus resort as their exploits intersect with hotel staff members. Both seasons also featured a mysterious death. Joining Rothwell in Thailand are Parker Posey, Walton Goggins, Jason Isaacs, Michelle Monaghan, Leslie Bibb, and who else do we have? Christian Friedel, Carrie Coon as well, Scott Glenn, Amy Lou Wood. Oh, wow. I didn't know that she was in this as well. Patrick Schwarzenegger. And I think that's about it there for the cast. So there's a few more names there if you want to read it, but those are the big standouts to me. And The White Lotus won 15 Emmys across its first 2 seasons, including for Outstanding Limited Series for its first season. And yeah, of course, then it moved into the drama categories there for season 2. So, yeah, interesting. So that just about does it for the article there. But yeah, I thought this was interesting. Not entirely surprising, of course, that it would be renewed, but maybe somewhat surprising that it got renewed even before season 3 hit HBO and people actually were able to see it. We're talking like almost a month before it even came out. That season 4 has already been renewed and greenlit. So, yeah, interesting stuff. I think that's maybe the most interesting or intriguing part of this news. But certainly not surprising. I mean, The White Lotus has been, on the radar of the Emmys and, critic acclaim. Audiences have really attached to it, connected to it the past few years. And it was a big one. Was it 2021, I think, was the first season? And there wasn't a lot on at the time. I remember back then, it was like Mayor of Easttown was maybe just finishing, and then The White Lotus was starting up, and it was around that time in the summer or the spring there, and it was weak. It was a very weak field of TV shows that were, obviously because of what was going on. And White Lotus season 1 really kind of sparked a lot of interest at that time, and season 2 really came back. And to me, I would say season 2 is better. And I have to say, though, I'm not the biggest fan of the show. I've never quite got, a lot of other people calling it, a masterclass and brilliant and all this kind of stuff. I think it's good. I haven't been a huge fan, but I do think season 2 is probably better than season 1. I'm always intrigued by the cast they get. this season, as I read some of those names, I'm like, damn, right? Like Walton Goggins, Leslie Bibb, Carrie Coon, Michelle Monaghan, like just some really great names in TV over the past, decade, maybe 2 decades, right? Leslie Bibb, obviously from a lot of comedies in the 2000s. And who else do we have? Amy Lou Wood, who's really great. Jason Isaacs, who's a really great actor as well. So yeah, just a really great cast for the season. They're going to Thailand for season 3, so high hopes for that one. Unfortunately, no details yet for season 4. But I'm sure it'll be very interesting. I'm sure Mike White will cook up something new. So anyways, some interesting news there. Season 4 of The White Lotus has been renewed. But first, let's focus on the first season that we have at our hands here. And that is season 3. And it comes out Sunday, February 16th on HBO. Is going to fill that Sunday primetime slot there for the first bit of the year here for sure. So anyways, looking forward to The White Lotus season 3.